Hello, my name is Mr. Yusufi. I am going to be showing you how to use the four-step method to help you answer word problems. Now, this method is designed to kind of point out what the problem is telling you, and then by knowing that, you will figure out which equation you're going to use, do the math, and then write your final answer. And so on your assignment, you should see something that looks like this. And we're going to do this first example together in the video. And so whatever I'm doing on this box, I want you to do on your assignment as well. So let's start off. Let's read our problem. Let's see what we've got going on. So we have a boulder with a mass of 50 kilograms is resting on the top of a cliff that is 20 meters high. What is the boulder's gravitational potential energy? And it also says to assume you are on the planet Earth. Okay, so let me zoom in here so you can see what I'm actually typing into these boxes. So here's our word problem. And what we're going to do to help us figure out this problem is use this four-step method. You can see that there's four boxes here, box 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so in this first box, we are going to list out what we know and what we don't know. So that is what we're going to list in this box. And so the first thing that we do, so we'll check our word problem. Here's something that we know. We know that the mass of the boulder is 50 kilograms. So I'm going to write my mass is equal to 50 kilograms. And you can make that lowercase if you want to. There we go. What else do we know? Whoops, sorry. We also know that the boulder is resting 20 meters above the ground. So we have a height, right? So our height above the ground is going to be equal to 20 meters. Okay, and again, if you want to make that lowercase, you can. And then the other thing that the problem is telling us or asking of us is it wants to know the boulder's gravitational potential energy. So as we know, EG is the symbol we use for gravitational potential energy, and we don't know what that is, so I'm going to leave that as a question mark. Okay. So that is all you do in the first box is you list what the problem is telling you, what you know, and what you're trying to figure out. And the question mark is what we're trying to figure out. And it tells us the height and the mass of the boulder. Okay, so then now that we have all of our information written in box 1, we're going to move on to box 2. And box 2 is going to be figure out which equation you need to use. And so the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to refer to my patterns toolbox on the Google Classroom. So if you go to the Google Classroom or wherever your patterns toolbox is located for this unit. So here's unit 3. I've got it open now. So let me just go back really quick to our four-step method. We want to know what equation to use, and we're going to figure that out by looking at what we're trying to find and what we are given. So we're trying to find gravitational potential energy. So let's take a look at our patterns toolbox. If we're trying to find gravitational potential energy, then I'm going to come to the gravitational potential energy slide. And as you can see on this slide, we have an equation for gravitational potential energy. That's equal to the mass times gravity times height. So we have mgh. So let's go back to my box 1. Do I have a mass, an m? Yes, I do. Do I have a h, a height? Yes. Now the thing that I'm missing in the equation is gravity. But if you look at the problem, it says assume you're on the planet Earth. Well, gravity on Earth is the same everywhere. It's 10 meters per second per second. So now I have gravity. I know that I'm on Earth. It will always be 10 on Earth. So now that I have mass, gravity, and height, and I'm trying to find gravitational energy, so this is the equation I'm going to use to figure that out. So that's all I'm going to write in this next box. Whoops, is my mass of, or my equation. Gravitational potential energy is mass times gravity times height. And I'm going to highlight these in blue so you can see what I'm actually writing in here. There we go. So box 1, what we know and what we don't know. Box 2 is going to be what equation we're going to use based off of the information from box 1. All right, so now we're on to box 3, and box 3 is plug your values into the equation. So that is our next step. So remember, our equation is gravitational potential energy is equal to mass times gravity times height. So let's plug everything in. For gravitational energy, we don't know what that is yet, so I'll leave that as a question mark still. So question mark is equal to this m, which we said was 50, so that's 50, times this gravity, which we said was 10 over here, so there we go. And then this h is left. So we have our mass, which was 50, our gravity, which is 10, and our height, which we know is going to be 20. So in the end, our equation is going to be question mark equals 50 times 10 times 20. And so this would be a good time to take your calculator out and do 50 times 10 times 20. And when I do that, I see that I get 10,000. All right. So box 3 is you're doing the math. You plug in the equation, you do the math. Box 4 now is going to be how you're going to communicate your answer to everybody. So in other words, it will be write a full sentence of your, write a full sentence describing your answer. And so, let me just do this in blue. There you go. And so the answer for this one, what I would put, since I got 10,000 over here for my gravitational energy, I would write in a full sentence, the gravitational potential energy of the boulder is 10,000, and it's really important that you remember your units. And what we measure energy in is joules. And so this is what I would put in box 4. Here we go. The gravitational potential energy of the boulder is 10,000 joules. So let me just repeat one more time. Box 1, you will list what you know and what you don't know. Box 2, figure out what equation you're going to use based off of what you know and what you don't. Box 3, plug your values in. Box 4, a full sentence that's describing your answer. Okay? What is the boulder's gravitational potential energy? Well, the gravitational potential energy of the boulder is 10,000 joules. And that is the 4-step method. Okay? So what you are going to do now is continue working on this assignment. There's 3 more problems on there. So go ahead and fill in the boxes with this information that you know now. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to email me or your teacher or whomever, okay? Thanks and good luck.